check in, if we can, Jim, with Peter Cozzolino.
Peter Cozzolino, Jim Trado in the Speed Channel booth. You guys are tight on fuel, but you got the lead. What's the strategy now for the final few laps?
Just gotta ride and stay ahead of them. We'll be all right.
Peter, did you think 2 hours ago when you're swapping motors this is possible, you leading here at IRP?
I knew we had a good car. We tested good, and it's been good. So here we go. Be cool.
you heard the word for the crew chief. Be cool. As the pace car ducks in. Cozzolino's going to bring him around. Beebe, Jurkovic, then the lap car Repner. Here we go. Well past the third, or 3/4 of the race, and enjoy the sounds of speed. Gary, that's pretty amazing.
It got crazy there quick, didn't it?
Oh man, well, some of these guys have put tires on, obviously looking real racy. There is your leader, the number 44 of Peter Cozzolino, and we have had some phenomenal action. And as far as Cozzolino's concerned, this is what it's all about. As long as Boris stays in front of Garvey, Cozzolino's getting away to the tune of 2.5 seconds. But look at this now. Look at this. Garvey gets the run, ducks underneath, and makes the move, gets by 29. And Gary, it throws Reed up high. Look whose nose suddenly is going to appear. There's Miller. He gets by as well. Now, Sawinski takes the pass, gets by the 55 of Cleaver, puts him now in the 7th spot. So he's on the prowl as well. But we've also seen moments, Garvey loose, flat tracking it, trying to hang in. And right now, Rob Albright, the guy who's maybe playing the biggest role in this race is Boris Jurkovic.
No question about that. Boris's story tonight almost as amazing as the only guy in front of him, Peter Cozzolino. This is a brand new race car. The team experienced troubles en route tonight. He missed the first practice session entirely. He got to the back gate. I was standing there. ASA officials had closed the gate to start the second practice session. He practically got on bended knee to let him inside. He only got a few laps of practice. Here he is running second with just 25 laps to go.
Awful tough for Mike and Butch to make up all that ground.
Well, and if they get to him, there's the other story. Look how long it took him to get by Boris, who clearly is not as quick as Peter. So Peter's got a little bit left. This is I think that's the number 6.
The battle for 13.
Yeah.
Kyle Jones is 18 years of age, had raced here before in a late model, so he had a little bit of experience. He almost got lapped earlier in the race, so his second run last week was his debut at Mansfield. He's doing a great job holding off Danny Edwards here.
Edwards and then Porter as well. And Edwards got a feel for him a little bit. He really, I think, he's the guy that lost a lot in that sequence of pit stops and yellows because he was up in the top 5.
That's one thing you do miss by not racing every race. The pit stops are what may make or break your run, even if you have the fastest car on the racetrack.
Welcome back, everybody. We continue under caution. Number 30, Travis Kettleson, sort of had a bit of really a harmless spin in terms of him. Watch what happens here. Loose.
Straight to back. You heard the crunch there. That was the rear tail at the outside wall.
The guy that it affected, though, is your leader, Peter Cozzolino. Look at the crew's reaction here to this. Pretty self-explanatory. And they are, oh, look at that. Now the nerves are starting to hit. We come to the line, 8/10 of a second. 8/10 of a second. There goes Butch around, Turner as well. But once again, you mentioned during the break, it looked to you like even when Garvey's car had run a few laps, it was a little loose.
Not quite as good as what he was earlier in the race. I don't know if the tires hurt him or what, but Mike definitely not as good as what he was earlier in the race.
3 to go this time by, and Garvey took 2/10 off. 2/10, but only 3 to go. And once again, Cozzolino, well, we saw how long it took Garvey and Miller to get by Boris. We'll have to see what happens here. Cozzolino just has to focus. Just drive your run. Ooh, look at this here. Sawinski now coming up, trying to make a move, use Turner as a pick to get by Sorensen. Didn't work there. Big points implications here. Oh, Garvey is closing. Garvey is closing. It's going to be 2 to go this time by. No. Final lap coming up now. Garvey down low. Out of the turn. Checker to Cozzolino.
Right.
The official margin less than half a second. Closer, not 0.2 of a second. The official margin of victory. And look at that reaction. The crew, I wouldn't be surprised to see them in tears just because of the physical effort earlier to get that car here, and then the emotion of getting the win as a result. That, my friends, is a classic study in the word perseverance. Peter Cozzolino and his crew truly earned this. Welcome back, our unofficial top 10, Peter Cozzolino. Big win. Garvey second, Miller third, Boris Yurkovich. Best run of the season. You love to see that. Reed Sorensen, another top 5 for this rookie. Unbelievable. There's the rest of the top 10. Let's get down to Rob Albright with our new winner.
A tearful Christina Cozzolino hands her husband Peter a bottle of water. I'll tell you, this has to be the biggest upset probably in ASA racing history. From the garage 2 hours ago to Victory Circle, Peter Cozzolino wins at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Peter, early in the season, particularly at Toledo, you faced a lot of criticism from your peers. Did you silence them tonight?
Well, like I said, we're letting our driving do the talking. We did the Polish victory lap for my grandfather. He's diabetic out in Connecticut. This race was for him. I got to thank my wife for sticking with me, my father, equally, Terry Props and Jim Props. I couldn't do this without them. I got to thank McDonald's. And A&A Manufacturing, they're all helping me get here.
The drive-through McDonald's car drove through, around, over, and under, whatever it took to get to the front. Peter Cozzolino, the winner tonight here at Indianapolis Raceway Park, guys.
And that's the trophy that they're going to hand to him, and he earned it. Unbelievable finish, and this crowd saw another phenomenal race here at IRP. We'll be right back.
Of course, he had to go congratulate tonight's race winner. Rarely do you see this big a smile on a second-place finisher. Mike Garvey, have you ever worked as hard to end up runner-up?
No, we sure haven't, but I'll tell you what, we knew the pit strategy was going to get us one time, and Peter ran a good race, but I just want to thank Jana King. They came on this, their first race with us tonight. We really wanted to win the race for them. Left-hander chassis, Pro Shocks. Those guys make it happen for us every week, and it's a 1-2-3 finish for left-hander chassis, so we're pretty happy about that.
And he picked up just a few points, guys, as he tries to close on Kevin Sawinski and Butch Miller, guys.
Yeah, it's impressive he's grinning like that because he was second here last year after a hard drive as well. We're going to show you our full field results right now. And as we're going to show you those, I want to turn it over to Gary here. Now, Gary, when Rob was talking to Peter and he was crawling out of the car, you stood up, bruised arms and all, pumping your fist. This means something to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, as an ASA family, we love to see guys get their first wins here in the series. And for Peter Cozzolino to win here at Indianapolis Raceway Park after the day that he had, it's basically his hometown as far as, this is where he keeps his race car. For him to win here, it's huge. And I guarantee you that just about everybody in those pit area is happy to see Peter Cozzolino in victory lane.
Well, I would agree completely. And another guy who had just a phenomenal race here, particularly late in the going, is with Rob.
You may want to party and celebrate this strong fourth-place finish for Boris Yurkovich, but you need some sleep, young man. Is that correct?
Yeah, we wrecked the car last week pretty bad and had to get it fixed. And so we brought another car here tonight. It wasn't nowhere near getting finished, but me and a couple guys worked a few nights and haven't slept since Thursday night to get the car ready.
Quite a battle there with Mike Garvey to try to hold on to that second spot.
Yeah, I was giving Mike a hard time. It was there at the end, and I know he's a good racer. He wouldn't get into me, but I had to let him go eventually. They're fast.
Boris was in the top 10 early, struggled a bit of late. A great fourth-place finish tonight, gentlemen.
And we have to point out that Boris was not standing on a pit wall. He's that tall, so he folds himself in and out of that car. Cozzolino going to be celebrating. Gary St. Amant, first of all, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you come back and visit us, but not until you've actually decided to quit racing.
That's right. Hopefully it's after we've been in victory lane.
Right. Next race is coming up, Madison International. Gary, you're going to be behind the wheel for that.
We will be at Madison. Excellent.
Great to hear it. Jim Trado, this has been just a great race here at IRP. Madison coming up next.
July 18th, Friday night here on Speed.
Yeah, so don't miss it. For Jim Trado, for Gary St. Amant, and for Rob Albright. Pitside, I'm Greg Kramer. We'll see you in Madison. Take care.